Yeah, so before I start, this is going to be a little bit difficult for me just because I rarely open up to people, never mind people I don't know. But yeah, so first I'm going to start. So I thought I'd do this video because, people say like music can change people's life, which is true, it can, but I thought I'll do a booky one. By the way, I'm sorry if you're like not interested in books because I've done quite a few books in a row. Well, book topics on my channel. So I try to kind of break it down, like put like other videos in between. Anyway, so first I'm going to start off with an easy one. When I say an easy one, it's kind of isn't get into depths than the other one that I have to show you. So the first one is this one. This is Ant Middleton's Fear Bubble. So this one was a book which I didn't expect it to. So when I first got this book and I read it, and I think I did a review on this channel, I'm not 100% sure, I might have, I might not have. And basically, I said in that video that yeah, it's got some useful tips and stuff, but it might not work for everyone. Do bear that in mind if you've got like severe like anxieties or like it's really bad, go to like a professional. I was like, yeah, practice what you preach sort of thing. But when it came to like when the whole pandemic started, I started, you know what, let's reread some books and everything, because at that time I wasn't working because I was footload or what footload whatever, I can't even say it anymore. And I reread this and I was like, oh my god, this has actually helped me get through my anxiety during the whole situation, and I didn't expect it to be like, it was so good that I ended up buying the audiobook as well for like on the go, and I was just like, oh my god, this helps me so much. So this one was a bit of a surprise. It helped me a lot to the point where I actually changed my rating. I think originally I gave it a 3 and I think I changed it to 4. But yeah, this helped a lot and I didn't expect it to help a lot. I was like, oh wow. So there's that one. So from initially reading it and thinking, okay, it could help some people, to realising that, oh my god, this has actually helped me during COVID. But anyway, so there's that one. And the other one, again, it's from the same like person. It's the same. Basically, if you don't know who Ant Militant, he did a program called SCS, Who Dares Wins. I believe he still does the Australian one, but I think Channel 4 have sacked him from the UK one, I believe. But anyway, so another one from this. So the next book is another person from that program, and this one is Battle Scars, and this is by Jason Fox. So this one is a biography, where the other book was kind of like a self-help thing, and this is like a biography, and it is not it's not the brightest biography. It goes with him, obviously he struggles after leaving the army. He had to leave the army, from what I remember, had to leave the army early because he's struggling, and then struggling after. Basically, you know when you read a book and you kind of read it and you're like, and a light bulb goes off and it's like, oh, okay, this is what happened with this book. So I don't know if you've heard of work burnout before. Well, it doesn't have to be work burnout or necessarily the whole subject of burnout. Basically, Jason was suffering from this, and obviously he was going through like symptoms and stuff, what he was feeling and everything like that. And then I'm reading this, and I'm like, god damn. Yeah, like it's because at that point, obviously, when I was reading this, I was working at McDonald's, and it got to the point where I've had enough. Like I was literally just zombie working there. It was awful. Like I just hated going to work and everything like that, and it just felt so real because I was reading this and I'm like, I'm feeling the same way. And this, like, it's kind of one of those things where you kind of realize, like, sometimes you just go through your life and whatever daily tasks, and yeah, you do feel kind of, you'd say like low and everything or like that, but you don't seem to, but you don't necessarily kind of acknowledge it too much, if that makes any sense. But as I was reading this, I was like, I seriously, I mean, this is serious at this point. Like, and obviously, this, I was reading this before lockdown. So, as I was reading this, I was like, I seriously need to find a new job. Otherwise, like, it's just gonna get worse. Like, that was where I was at. And, obviously, what happened then, I was trying to look for a job, couldn't find one, and then obviously lockdown happened, and I was like, well, lockdown, COVID happened, and then lockdown happened, and then we found out that McDonald's were closing. I was like, okay, maybe I just needed a break. So maybe, just maybe. So obviously I can't remember how many weeks we were off, and you know, if you were following this channel for a while or since last year, you would know what really happened. But to cut it up short, a manager made me out to be a liar. I ended up um, walking off, walking out of work, because at this point, my anxiety when it came to COVID was just really bad, and the company didn't give a shit. So anyway, and she'd pissed me off. Anyway, so in the end, I was like, I can't come back here, and I ended up quitting my job. But now looking into the future, I now secured a job at Subway. But anyway, off topic. And it's funny because it's only recently now where I don't, you know, when people say things happen for a reason, I don't actually still hate her now, if that makes any sense, because I feel if she hadn't have been a liar, I would probably still be working at McDonald's, or I wouldn't be here. It, you know what I mean? It was just that bad. Like, don't get me wrong, I do have bouts of depression, but you know, when you're doing this, going, it was just really bad. Anyway, so if anything, I actually thank her for being a lying bitch, to put it up that way, because as I said, I could have still been working at McDonald's, being completely miserable, hating my life even more than I already do. You know what I mean? It was just, but it was that sort of thing. So in a way, this book helped me kind of acknowledge the situation that I was in, and made me realize that I was in a situation where I should probably get out of it, because it's not going to change. You're not going to suddenly wake up and love your job at this point. You've been working working there for 5 years, and it just happens. But yeah, this is one of those books where it's close to my heart. It's not something I necessarily like reread often, just because it is kind of on the depressing side, but it's one of those books that kind of, it's an eye opener anyway. But yeah, so that is basically it for this video. So yeah, so bye guys. Again, both of these are kind of it's kind of a bit depressive, but and that's basically the books that kind of changed my life. Or you could argue this one kind of saved my life. I mean, whatever. So you interpretate that as. But yeah, that is it for this video. So bye guys.